Good afternoon, everybody, and a further episode in the interactive Naval War Game. Somewhere over the rainbow, well, more specifically at 65,000 feet, somewhere over the Mozambique/Oilem Channel, flies Fearless Fiona. Fearless Fiona is an RB-57M snooper, and she is silently ploughing her course, well, almost silently, except for the TF-33s and the additional lift jets. She is plying her course in her orbit, and she is vacuuming up signals. That's her job. The pilot and co-pilot, navigator, they do this on a regular basis, maybe 2 or 3 times a week, depending on demand. There's 9 of these recce aircraft, and they are vacuuming up signals which are then decoded by the Malagasy intelligence people in their base in the capital, Antananarivo. Now, they have detected an increase in traffic, which is always alarming, especially at times of tensions. And one of the pieces of information that has been decoded is a message between a Malagasy sailor and a Marmatian lady. And it appears that the sailor, who is actually the first officer, has fallen deeply in love with a Marmatian on the onlyplastic.com fan site. And he's been exchanging messages. And once he's had the Marmite, his loyalties have changed. He is happily married with children, but they keep meeting once a month in Malador. And unfortunately, this first officer, who's been very naughty, has passed on a message to his sweetheart about the sighting of the submarine. And we all know, sailor beware. Loose talk can cost lives, and loose lips sink ships. These messages have been causing some consternation, and they've been sending Marmatia into a bit of a frenzy. And Marmatia is sending messages back to an unknown team on the ground in the Malagasy state, Madagascar, southern Madagascar, talking about Decision Day. And Decision Day is a day when all Marmatian children have to take the Marmite and decide if they love or hate it. Those that love it then go on to join the Marmatian military and government. So unfortunately, a detective is being sent, and the first mission of the newly arrived law helicopter in the area will be to head out with a replacement first officer to the Sheriff Johnstone, winch the now disgraced first officer off, take him away in handcuffs once he's in the helicopter, of course, and then supply them with a new first officer. The law is also committing more resources to the search, and we'll come on to that in a minute. And the general in charge of the operation is sending more Reaper drones south. This is an MQ-9B with brimstone and extended range fuel tank. And he's also providing for the communication needs of the airborne on the ground with the DHC-6 communications relay aircraft. So this operates as a aerial radio node, ensuring digital communications for the troops on the ground. The law is also sending its DH-6Cs to assist in the search, and it looks like the team that is on the ground that they are hunting is bigger than first expected. Now, of concern, 2 more bottle-class submarines have slipped their moorings, bringing 4 in total now going to sea. And the Marmatian target may be the Comoros Island, where there are 2 Wisteria-class corvettes, 1 Type 23 frigate, and a load of Army and Navy assets. The Type 212A submarine from the Malagasy state is proceeding towards its ambush position, and the other naval assets have now been put onto alert. So we have a main naval base here for the Malagasy state in Amarantisera, apologies for my pronunciation, and at Diego Soares, Antisirana, we have the main naval base where the carriers are based. Now, Madagascar is actually massive. The scale of this map is 10 centimetres per 100 kilometres. So even to get to the Comores Island, you're looking at 500 kilometres. Now, roughly 1 knot per nautical mile. So if you divide that, you're looking at possibly a day's sailing just over to get to the Comores. And I measured it, and the Malagasy state is around 1,000 kilometres in length. So getting naval assets from here all the way down does take some time. So where does this leave us? Well, unfortunately, and this is going to be the question for the next poll, unfortunately, the honey-trapped officer has given away the information to this Marmatian lady, and the Marmatians have leaked that to the Malagasy press, that the exercise which is being conducted is actually in response to an enemy submarine. They haven't said who, but the Malagasy president now has a bit of a political predicament. What does he say to the people of the Malagasy state? Is this just a story that they can go no comment on? Or is this something that they need to respond to? Now, just in terms of the search area, the General is planning on expanding it now. And what he's going to be doing is he has his airborne units gone into their platoon harbours here. That's the pipeline there, and that's the oil terminal where it's pumped across. And he's going to be using the law forces and military law, they're like the military police, and they're going to be in this outer area. And they're going to be stopping people coming into the exercise zone, and they'll be doing stationary vehicle checkpoints run by the law and the military law, and they'll be discouraging people from going into the exercise area. Inside this zone, there'll be snap vehicle checkpoints, which will be heli-borne, and that'll be the airborne forces going out on their patrols, stopping vehicles on the roads and assessing who is in them. The Pathfinders are still working inland with the dogs, and they'll also be putting out patrols in helicopters to go around what is a vast area. So that's the plan, and the poll will be, what should the Malagasy president respond to these allegations in the press that the Malagasy state has been compromised? Let me know what you think. The war game rolls on.